Hey guys, Iceman here. Now, I just made a video yesterday on this barbarian, and I was wielding grief, along with death, which was in a colossal blade. Now, death is a ladder-only item, so some would say I'm a dumbass for trading it, because the ladder's most likely nearly to its end. But you know what I traded it for? A freaking Breath of the Dying Berserker Axe. So I finally have one of these back. About a month ago, I had one, and I traded it off for a Faith bow from my Amazon, or her Merc. It's in a Hydra bow. It's a GG bow, and I still use it. It's great to have on Switch, because she's a Javazon, partly. But I traded it off, man, and I kind of regret it. I believe that one was given to me for free. I couldn't believe it. Some guy just threw it down in the game, wanting to hook me up because I gave him a junk offer. And he just said, just take it, man. And he chucked it on the ground. And then he gave me a new torch as well. One that's better than my other one. Or maybe that was the Death Berserker Axe that he gave me. Yeah, I think it was the Death. I traded for the Breath of the Dying Berserker Axe. That's right. A few runes for it. But damn, dude, look at this thing. It's 396%. out of 400 being the max. I believe it goes from 350 to 400. Now, of course, if it was in a superior, which it very well might be, I don't know, but the max would be in that case 415. But damn, dude, this thing is epic. 7 mana steel, 14 life, stolen per hit, 32 all attributes. That's a really nice mod to have. Attack speed, and something that's often overlooked, I think, is the damage to undead. 200% damage to undead. That's epic to have. Because right now I just have these laying of hand gloves that give me 350 damage to demons. And my grief gives me some damage to demons. But, you're lacking when it comes to the undead damage. You don't have any bonuses to undead damage, generally, with the common gear. So, it is damn epic to have that now. Because it really helps out. Like I said, it's a very underlooked skill, or attribute to have. In this Breath of the Dying Berserker. Because the death that I was using otherwise, it had some nice mods. It was pretty slow, though, was my biggest gripe with it. But it just didn't have any nice mod like this to undead, obviously. And the thing is, in the Chaos Sanctuary, you're dealing with those Doom Knights and the Ghost Wraith things that are all undead. So really, a high percentage of enemies in the Chaos Sanctuary are undead, which is why it's so damn epic to have that. Now, this is a blast, this combo, and I know some folks are going to talk shit, but the thing about it is, when you have an axe and a sword combo, it gives you style points, man. So Iceman gets a lot of style points for having mixed weapon types, and of course, it's problematic, right, because of the masteries. I max sword mastery, but then I just put 1 into axe mastery. So it's really lacking in that regard. But that's okay, because you get the best of both worlds, I think. Because I don't want to have a grief and an axe. Why? Because the axe, you can't make it in an ethereal one. Phase blades are obviously indestructible. So when you have a plain grief in a berserker axe, non-ethereal, which is the way you have to make it, unless you want it to break in about 10 minutes and never used again, then you have that sacrifice, man. And if you're killing at high speeds, like these barbs are capable of, you're going to have to be repairing that thing like every 10 minutes. And it's annoying as hell. So I want to have the indestructible one. Plus there's versatility. You can use it with a smiter, although I suppose you can do it with an axe as well. But the Phase Blade, man, you make it in there, and it's GG and indestructible forever. So that was the problem. And I wanted a Breath of the Dying, and the best thing to make that in is a Berserker Axe. Generally. On ladder and stuff. It does a little bit more damage, slightly lower requirements than a Colossal Blade. Or Colossal Sword, rather. And it has more versatility. You can throw it on your Zealer and use it one-handed, obviously. So there's that. And look at the damage, man. 178 to 525. Holy shit. And here's what's cool is the Poison Nova. It actually is noticeable now, the damage. It's because I'm using Grief on the other hand, which has negative 21% to enemy poison resistances. This one does anyway. It ranges from 20 to 25. So when you have that negative percentage to enemy resistance, it really adds up, man. And it beats their ass. But yeah, look at this. It's very gratifying, man. Slaughtering these demons by the hordes. And it's obviously not the fastest PVM build, but it's very durable. Look at them just beat the shit out of these guys. Oh yeah, and a side note, last game, I found this Thunder Maul, a 60, a 301. I think it's pretty godly. Non-superior, obviously, but I made this trade game. Hoping that maybe I could trade it off. If not, I'm probably just going to throw it on the ground. Because I don't really want it to take up any more storage space. But I suppose that's kind of part of the fun of it all, is maximizing and optimizing your storage space. Because this isn't pluggy, obviously. In some ways that can be annoying, having such little space. But in other ways, you have to be more strategic in your trading. You have to have a more broad understanding of the economy and shit. You gotta know what's worth trading, what's worth holding on to trade. And you gotta balance it out. Some things are worth a lot more, but it takes forever to find the right buyer, because it's in far less demand. So those items you have to consider. How much time am I willing to put into sitting around and trading games, or having it on a mule and putting it on JSP? But that takes up a lot of space as well, and you gotta freaking perm all those mules. You know what I mean? So there really can be some fun to be had in the fact that you're limited with space. In good old traditional ladder battle, not Diablo. It can add some fun to things. And I know that some folks like to play with a mod where you have a separate inventory for your charms. While that can be really handy, the problem is it then lacks a rather interesting dynamic. The fact that you have to balance out whether or not you want to sacrifice space for a charm. So you end up only keeping like freaking GG ones in your inventory. And you don't just have junk ones take up space just because it doesn't matter. So there's something to be had in all that. There really is. So consider. And I mean, get on Battle.net, man, if you're not on here. The ladder's going to restart soon. Word on the street has it anyway. But look at this barb destroy. Look at that. See, these are the undead. Here's the demons. Do a lot of damage to demons. Then here's the undead, which they generally have lower HP, these guys. Look, it just slaughters them. This is amazing. Yeah, this thing is godly. Now, Daddy has to make a new Grief, I think, because this is only 370 damage and it can go up to 400. So, I might have to remake another Grief. This fortitude was given to me after I lost mine by one of you guys. Appreciate it. By shooting Jimmy's. He hooked me up. And the Gorge as well. Nearly perfect. Now, I'm thinking about wearing a G-face on this character instead of Ariat's. Ariat's has a lot of damn nice mods. Yeah, but I might pop on a G-face. I have one with an rune in it. Might have to bump up a few resistances with small charms. But then I'm gonna get that crushing blow, 35% chance, and another 15% chance of deadly strike. Deadly strike, every time you do it, it doubles your damage. But here's the thing, as far as I understand it, with your masteries, for example, see that percentage of critical strike? I believe that counts as deadly strike. And you can't have a double deadly strike in one hit. You can only have one deadly strike per hit. So if you go over 100%, it's useless. But the critical strike counts as a deadly strike. But of course mine vary, sword and axe. But I might respec this character and do 10 and 10 in each to even things out. but 31% chance. See, so I already have that, and then I have a 20% in the grief. Now, I'm not sure if that adds only to this swing, or does it add to both? Maybe one of you guys could help me out in the comment section. Does it add at the, is it like the final edition, your deadly strike that's on the weapon, to where it doesn't matter which hand you hit with, you could still deadly strike with that percentage on the weapon? I don't know the answer to that, man. I'll have to look into it. But then I got the 33% on the Emmy, High Lords, 15% here. And then I'll have 15% on G-Face as well. That'll be 30 plus 33, 63% Deadly Strike. And then my Masteries, 63, 70, 80, 94. Yeah, with that anyway, with Sword. 80, 84 with Sword, or Axe. But it might be worth it. I have to do type in some numbers, you know what I mean? And that G-Face Deadly Strike might count for something. Crushing Blow only really will benefit much with the bosses because you're killing stuff so fast. Even on higher monster levels, or higher player levels. But of course that's the thing when you're playing ladder, is it's hard to get those steady 8-player games. You could join a bell run, but then everybody takes off in a couple minutes when the run's over. So you only have like a few minutes to do 8-player. But this build is not optimized. You know, you gotta fill up your inventory with max damage charms and stuff, small charms. But yeah, my damage has increased now. Since before. Look at that, frenzy damage. With the Breath of the Dying, it's 6,700 max. Now the breath, that obviously, the damage added is not applied here. With the multipliers involved. And I think my multipliers take me pretty damn high. 300 plus 300. I mean, maybe close to 1,000%. So you apply that almost 1,000% to 370. Yeah. Godly damage, man. And that's minimum maximum. It's hard to go wrong with grief. And I'm pretty damn sure that this is faster killing than my death grief combo that I was using previously. Look at how fast he destroys this shit. And of course, the death was made in a sword, and I had max sword mastery. You know, I'm using this Breath of the Dying in the place of it. I only put one cute little point in axe mastery, and I'm kicking ass. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that Poison Nova's epic. Especially with enemies who have less HP and who are less poison resistant. What do we got here? Piece of junk. Oh yeah, and on Switch, here's what you can do. These things come really cheap. I think someone even gave me one for free. The Heart Carver gives you 4 to find item. 1 in each hand, you got 8 to find item on Switch. Which takes you to a pretty... And I put a few points into find item. So it looks like I put 3 points in it total, I think. And then when you switch over to your carvers, you get 50% chance. With my added skills that I have from items. Now if I wear a G-Face, it's going to be kind of sad, because I'm going to be missing out on 2 to all skills, which do help with my masteries and stuff. But it's going to be a hard thing to determine whether or not it's worth it. But I think I will experiment. It'll probably look badass wearing it. Of course, Ariat's looks pretty badass as well. I remember when these helms were implemented before in one of the earlier patches. What the hell? Okay, here comes Satan. Now I'll beat his ass. Yeah, it looks like nobody wants this Thunder Mole. But there are a lot of folks in these realms, you'd be surprised. You make a trading game for something, especially if you have a good offer in the title. Oh, look at here. Another pair of these guys. Laying of hands are cheap, but I use them in almost all of my builds that are melee. Okay, so this one's better. Am I gonna have to get rid of this mole? It's probably almost time to just chuck this mole down. But I'll show you this guy destroy the Travical in the council because... Damn, that was expensive. It's a great build for that, especially with your find item on Switch. This is a great way to gather up runes. Yeah, it certainly is. And you can taunt these guys so they come at you recklessly attacking at lower damage. Or if you're powerful enough, you can just run up in there. Just run up in there and beat the shit out of them. I mentioned this before in other videos, but if you have your frenzy on your right click and you just hold it, it'll auto attack enemies, so you don't have to keep clicking on each individual enemy. See, there's the find item. Nothing good, but yeah, I got another drop out of a couple of those guys. What do you guys think of this, though? Oh, man. That is epic. And here's where the multipliers. Check it out. Here's 2 max damage. So I go from 6,702 to 6,679. So you get quite a bit of damage from just 2 little damages. Here's 3. So over 30 damage added. Just from 3 max damage. Oh, here's a 10. I think I have a 10. 6,700, 6586 to 67. See, so just every point in damage counts. And if you get a high grief, the same will be applied. Then obviously it's just not registered on this character board because the damage is hidden. Yeah, I'm going to tamper with this build some more and maybe optimize it a bit more. And more videos to come, though. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this Barbarian build and this combo. I'm the Iceman. Like this video if you will, and subscribe. Peace be with you.